let's close our discussion of descriptive statistics with some explanation of a couple of more useful Excel statistical functions. So we'll start with the file rule of thumb final, which has that Cisco data. So let's suppose you want to find the 90th percentile of the Cisco data. What does that mean? The 90th percentile means 9 out of 10 data points are below that number, 1 out of 10 data points are above that number. And so there's a couple of functions for this. If you start typing with the function wizard, you'll see percentile.exe, percentile.inc, and just percentile function if you have an older version of Excel down here. I prefer the percentile.exe function. It's a little bit advanced to discuss why, but I think this gives you a better idea of what the 90th percentile of the data set is. So we'll use percentile.exe. Now we've named this column Cisco, so we can use that in our functions here. So if I'll do percentile.exe, the array, I'll use the F3 key, just paste in Cisco, and then I get 0.9 for the 90th percentile. And if I want the 10th percentile, I could do percentile. So the autocomplete gets there. CSCO, the autocomplete gets that. And I could get the 10th percentile. That should be a bad month. Okay, so roughly 10% of the months Cisco lost 11% or worse. Roughly 10% of the months Cisco went up by 20.7% or better. Okay, so the percentile function, my students often get confused by this. Maybe it's my fault. But percentile function returns, in essence, a value of the data set. In other words, these numbers are returns on Cisco. Now, often we want to turn things around and look at a data point and say, where does it rank percentile-wise in the data set? So if I go to F153, that was a bad month for Cisco. Cisco lost 14%. So where does that rank? Well, there's a function for that percent rank. Okay, so if I do percent rank, and I prefer the .exe, so I could say the array is Cisco, and I could say F153, and then there's an argument significance, which has no significance. It's really how many decimal points. So that was a really bad month. It's the 4.5 percentile. In other words, losing 14.4% in a month was the 4.5 percentile of the monthly returns. Now I could look at a really good month, which I can see is October 1990. For Cisco. So I could say equals percent rank.exe, and I could just point to this number. Sorry, I want CSCO, and point to this number. So that was a really good month. That's like the 98th percentile of what happened. Okay. So now what I want to do is open up another file and talk about a couple of more statistical functions. Let me save this. Okay, it's going to take a second to save here, but okay, there it goes. So the file I want to open up is going to be called trim mean. That's fine. Okay, so I made up some scores here. Oh, it's got the data in there, but that's okay. Let's take this out. And I don't really care about the trim mean here, so the file is sort of misnamed. But suppose these are scores, and they could be scores on a test, or they could be scores on an exam, or they could be golf scores. And as you know, scores on a test, you want a high score. Scores in golf, you want a low score. Last time I played golf, I got 90 for 9 holes. That wasn't very good. Okay, so what I'd like to do is name this range scores, so I could do formulas, create from selection, so then I can just totally refer to that column by using the F3 key or typing in scores. Okay, so I think we mentioned these functions before in a conditional formatting video, but you may not have watched that. There's a large function that will tell you like the second largest number in a range, the second smallest number in a range, and there's a small function tell you like the second smallest number. Sorry, the large function will do like the second largest number in a range, the fifth largest number in a range. The small function will do like the second smallest in a range, the fifth smallest in a range. So I can do equals large. Okay, I can do F3, paste in scores, comma 2 to get the second largest number there. And I could say your exam scores, that would be the second best score. For golf, I could say small scores, comma 2. So the second lowest score was 80. Now I could do the rank. Let's suppose it's an exam rank. And I could do the rank if it's golf. Okay. So I could use the rank function as the function that ranks things. Where do things rank? So I would do rank, and then I want to rank the 93. I can do F3 scores. Okay, now if I want descending, which means the biggest number gets a rank of 1, I would put a 0. Okay. So the last argument would be 0. These are exam scores. So 100 is the first best score. Okay, and then 84 would be the 40th best score. But now if they're golf scores, you want the last argument to be 1 because the lowest score is better. So I would say rank this score. Then I could use F3, paste in scores, use the last argument of 1, copy that down. Okay, then we'll see 100 will be the worst golf score, 59. Okay. Now finally, if you start typing in a cell equals rank, you'll see, okay, we've got the rank function. Okay, rank.eq and rank are really the same thing, but rank.average is a bit different. See, there are sometimes ties on these scores here. So like here's two scores that were 86. Okay, so the rank function says they're both 45th or both 14th. Well, to be honest, that's a bit misleading. If they're both the 14th lowest score, maybe they should be 14.5 and average them. So I could do rank EQ. Let's do with the last argument 0. I'm not going to fuss with this. Sorry, rank average. So it's rank average. And if I say rank this test score in the scores column, and I'll do comma 0, sorry, that should be rank C4. Okay, see, notice the 93, there must have been more than one 93. So if I copy this down, you see those two 86s? They would be, okay, 45th, they tied for 45th, so Excel puts them at 45.5 because the average of 40, one was 45th and one was 46th. Okay, I don't see any, that's a 0.33 here, so but there were a bunch of ties and scores. So it's more appropriate, I think, to use that rank dot, sorry, that should be rank.avg there. Okay, and if you want to, that is fairly useful. But that rank function is very, very useful. Trim mean, by the way, takes away some of the data from the top and some from the bottom, and it's a more robust measure of a typical value, but I'm not going to really worry about that. Okay, that concludes our discussion of descriptive statistics.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and there's a free course, a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, and all of these videos are coming from one of 3 books. So first, this one, which you can see here at the top of the screen, Microsoft's book, which has 355 reviews, and then it's, let's see, 4.6 stars. It's coming from this book as well, his marketing analytics book, which is down here, and you can sort of see 4.5, or his newest book, his analytics stories book, which is here. And with that one, you can see it's 4 point something, or maybe even 5. I don't think it's 5. Yeah, 4.8. And so, yeah, anyways, in the description, there's a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, or you can go to excelwithwayne.com/free, and it'll be there. But again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just please let us know. Thanks.